What's going on? Trying to get a few more viewers in. Gonna be brief. Probably all of about maybe 15 minutes. Just give out these few little points that I got. Got 10 quick points, and then I'm gonna be logging off. Get a little closer. Just want to see. All right, so got enough people in. I guess we'll let people add in as they come. If they got questions, they can pop them up at the bottom. Please like and share this video. I've been asking some coaches and connections that I know about what's one of the most important things you do as you're getting ready to take over a program. You're trying to build the culture, set in place your standards and what you want done. Just actually listen to a coach the other day talk about different things. So one of the things that when it comes to taking over a program, you have to go in and instill your culture, instill your methods, your standards, and start there. So there's like 10 things that I've come to conclude with that you have to build a program, or when you're taking over a program, how you want to build it your way to be successful and to reach all the goals that you set, which ultimately your goal in high school is to win a state championship, but win a region championship. As it pertains to college, your goal may be just to win a conference championship, but definitely play in the NCAA tournament and eventually get to a national championship. So 10 steps to building a program. First one is you have to build it. But before you can build anything, you have to lay a foundation. You lay a foundation. What's up, Coach DeWalt? You lay a foundation of where you, based on your fundamental principles, whatever your principles are or whatever you want your program to be based on, you have to lay your foundation with that first. And then you begin to build from there. Not much how you doing down there at the beach. You build your principles and build your program from there. So you build it step by step. You set this up. As long as your base principles, and you find it's like a house. If the foundation is strong, your house is going to be unmovable and unshakable. It's kind of like with faith. As long as your hope and your faith is built in Christ, your foundation is strong and solid, it's not going to be moved. So you have to build it. Number two, I kind of think can be number one is your staff. High school, college, middle school, it doesn't matter. Your staff is important. Your staff is important because they're going to help you carry out your principles that you're building. What's up, Chuck? See, Mac? They're going to help you build your principles they're going to help instill your principles that you're wanting. If they don't have the same mindset or believe in the same principles that you believe in, like let's just say your principles are integrity, toughness, honesty, and competitiveness, and those are just something I just threw off the top of my head. If your coaches don't believe in that and they can't help you instill that, not much, man, just trying to share a little bit of knowledge. If your coaches don't believe in that and instill that, then there's no way they should be on your staff as it pertains to your staff. So your staff that you build is very important, and it's a trustworthy thing that you have to have your staff, that you have to have a staff that can help you instill your principles and keep your foundation laid. The next thing you want to do is You can go. Next thing you want to do is you want to build trust. To build trust, you have to build trust amongst your players. Yes, with your coaching staff, but you have to build trust with your players. Go ahead, get it. You have to build trust. It's okay. You have to build. I promise, it's okay. Everybody, I'm at home, guys. You have to build trust amongst your players. Your players have to be. What's up, Coach Snell? Thank you for tuning in. You have to. When you build in trust, your players have to trust you. Coach said, before anybody wants to know what you know, they want to know that they can trust you or know that you can care. What's up, Coach Spencer? Hope you're doing well. After having, yeah, I ain't gonna tell you business. What's up, Coach Hazard? So you have to build the trust with your players, and once you build that trust, then you can build on top of that foundation that you've already laid. You've laid out the foundation and the principles for them. Your staff has to build trust with you. You have to build trust with them, and then all of you have to build trust with your players. So once you build that trust with your players, you're able to then lay that foundation on thick and then start to build on that foundation. I'll come back on another live and talk about a pyramid of how you lay your foundation. Number 4, I talked about it earlier, you create standards. You create standards that you want your program to be built on. That's going back to your foundation. Those have to be built from the beginning. Accountability. You want to hold everybody, they can't see you. You want to hold, they can't see you. You want to hold everybody accountable for what they're doing. Like if your players have to be on time, if you set a time for them to be there, if you're going to start something, that's for your coaches, your players, your managers, your GAs, everybody that's involved in the program. If you set an 8 a.m. meeting, everybody needs to be there at 7:50 because that's when you're on time. Because at 8 a.m. I'm starting, so at that point you're late. Whatever it is, you have to have accountability. It's good to have accountability because at the end of the day, if you're coaching high school, they have to go to college and have some kind of foundation to lay, whether they play athletics or not. If they don't play athletics, they have to have that base structure of holding themselves accountable to get up and go to class. What's up, bro? They have to be able to hold themselves accountable to get up and go to class on their own because there is nobody waking them up. There's no mom and daddy calling you or knocking on your door, waking you up. You got to get up and go to class on your own. So coaches are going to ask, are you trustworthy? Can you be held accountable? A coach has to be able to trust you if they want you in their program. So accountability is a must, and that's from the top as the head coach, associate head coach, recruiting coordinator, assistant coach, director of basketball operations, special assistant to the head coach, the secretary, the graduate managers, the graduate assistants, the managers, to your players, to whoever. That is accountability is important. Number 6, develop competence. What does that mean? That means the ability, you're going to teach them the ability to do something successfully. What are we going to teach them to do successfully? A lot of things. Of course, basketball or football or whatever you're coaching is number 1. You want to be successful because as a coach, it makes you look good, but if your players are successful, it makes you look good. 2, you got to teach them how to be successful in the classroom. Because, again, student comes before athlete, so you got to teach them to be successful in the classroom. If they're not successful in the classroom, there's no way they can help you and be successful on the court because they're not going to be eligible to play. Excuse me. So you have to be able to teach them to be successful on and off the court, to work hard on and off the court. So that goes back to number 5, holding them accountable for the things that they're doing on and off the court. You have to teach them the ability to be successful in life. You're coaching men, you got to teach them how to be men. You got to teach them how to be fathers. You got to teach them how to be husbands and be successful at it. Coaching women, you got to teach them how to be wives. That's why you hire female coaches, so they teach them how to be wives, teach them how to be ladies, teach them how to be grown women in the world. Because at the end of the day, the ball will stop bouncing. Number 7, I think this is an important one. You have to, what's up, PJC? You have to promote teamwork. Why is this important? Promoting teamwork is important because when you take over, not much, man, trying to share a little bit. Promoting teamwork is important because when you take over a program, everybody's new to you. It doesn't matter if the guy scored 30 a game last year. Yes, that's important, but they're new to you because they may not score 30 a game in your system. They scored 30 a game in the previous coach's system. So therefore, you have to talk about that. You talk about it, but you also have to see and evaluate how they'll fit in your system. Because if your system promotes sharing the ball and your system never has anybody score over 15, 16 points a game, well, obviously somebody scoring 25, 26 points a game, you got to find a way for it to fit in your program. So you got to promote teamwork, and they still may average that, but they need to be pass first, but not be a selfish teammate. I ain't gonna necessarily say be pass first, but you want to be a teammate. You got to be a good teammate on and off the court. Definitely on the court, because nobody's gonna want to play with you if you don't want to be a good teammate on the court. So promote a teammate. The eighth thing is challenge. Challenge your team. Challenge your staff. Challenge your staff to find the best available players that fit. What's up, D-Drum? One of my Greer legend right there. Challenge your players to be the best. Back up. I'm sorry, y'all. Challenge your coaching staff to find the best available players that fit your system as a head coach, if you're a college coach. Even if, as a high school coach, in tryouts, a kid may not look good in drills, but then they get on the court and start playing 5-on-5, then you're like, wow, I was going to cut that kid, but he can help me. Why? The way you be successful, I think this is for college coaches and high school coaches, the way you're successful is you find players that can fit your system and can play a role in your system that nobody else, hey, Coach Nelson, that nobody else can play. Like Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman could fit into any team he wanted to fit into. Why? Because he was a rebounder. Lost art. I mean, as I said in one of my other lives, he would study the rotation of the other team's shot when it hit the rim, how it would rotate, which way it would go. Therefore, he arguably was the best rebounder ever to play the game. But he definitely was the best rebounder from that 1990 to about 2000, whatever. I mean, the man got paid millions, tens and 12s and 15 millions of dollars just to rebound and play defense. I mean, it was his role. And to act crazy, wear colorful hair, dress like a woman and all that stuff. I mean, he got paid to put on a show. I mean, it is what it is. Dennis Rodman, but people forget that Dennis Rodman could score, because when he was with the Pistons, he was definitely a scorer. I mean, he was one of their scorers. Like, he could score. He still rebounded and played defense, but he could score. So challenge your staff to find the best available players in tryouts, or while especially college coaches, you're recruiting, or private schools, if you're recruiting, whatever you're doing, find the best available players that fit your system. That is a way to be successful. That's how you challenge your staff. Challenge your players. Challenge your players to be better. Challenge them to set goals that they're going to achieve. Let's have the best home record in the conference. Let's have the best road percentage in the league. Let's have 5 guys. Let's have 3 guys make first team. Let's have another 3 or 4 guys make second team. Let's get 3 guys on the all academic team. Whatever the case is, challenge your guys. What's up, Rick? Challenge your guys to achieve goals that to them may not seem, you make them, challenge them to make goals that are obtainable, but you make them challenge them to make goals that they may not obtain, but they got to keep working to get there. Challenge your guys to be a better teammate. Challenge your guys to be a better person. Challenge your guys to be a better human being. Challenge them to do everything, because it's all going to come back and be a core of helping your program be successful and be built on the foundations. Coach Nelson, if you're still watching, I know you were very successful at Myers Park. You had a lot of players go D1. Can you type in some of your foundations that your program is built on, some of the stuff that you built your culture on, and how you built your program into a championship program up there? If you're still on, will you share some of that? Number 9, as the head coach, we have to be the example. Be the example of who we want our players to be. That goes into identity some too. I'll get to that, maybe not in this live, but I'll get to it in another live. I might talk about it a little bit in this live, just depending on how long I've been on. I said I wasn't gonna be on long. What's up, cuz? But be the example. If you want your guys to be a good husband, be a good husband. You want your guys to be a good male role model, be a good male role model to them. If you want If you're coaching girls, if you want your girls to see a positive positive male role model, be one. Be the big brother. Show them what it's like to be involved with a man that's good. I mean, let them see you treating your wife or your fiance or your girlfriend the way that they should be treated. Let them see that. So you be the example. 10 is recognition. Man, recognize as coaches, give them something, reward them. If you, whatever it may be, like it could be as simple as, like I heard a coach say earlier today, it could be as simple as ice cream. Every time they do something good, take them to get ice cream, or take them to play kickball or play dodgeball or something. Go play paintball, anything. Just do something to recognize your team, because when they know that they have things that they're going to achieve, when they achieve their goals, they're going to be recognized and rewarded for it. It makes a difference in how hard they'll play for you. So I'll go back to the top. The 10 steps were build it. Number 2 was your staff. Number 3 was building trust. Number 4 was creating standards. Number 5 was accountability. Number 6 was develop competence. Number 7 was promote teamwork. Number 8 was challenge your staff and challenge your players. Number 9, be the example. Number 10, recognition. You have to do, those things are important in building your program. And when back to on number 1, when I say build it, lay your foundation. Lay your foundation, and then begin to build from your foundation. What's up, Isaac? Then begin to build from your foundation. Okay, so whatever your foundation of your program is built on, that's how you got to build your program. It's going to be built that way. What's up, D-Mac? Any questions, any thoughts? Any coaches still watching? Again, your staff is important, again. So, but when trying to build a program, you can't go in, and I asked this question yesterday. It's like the coach responded to me. She said, don't be hard, so to speak, but depending on the level you're on, you have to develop and build your program by developing culture, but you develop it by evaluating your players, seeing where they are, seeing if they fit into your program standards. And some players will weed themselves out. This is I think at high school, college level, they're going to weed themselves out. If they don't fit your style of play, or they don't fit your program standards, they're going to weed themselves out. But as a coach, you have to stand strong on your standards, because if you waver in your standards, then how can your team be held accountable, which is point number 5. Number 4 is creating your standards, which you should already have as a head coach. And if you don't have them, you need to get them. And if you can't hold true to your standards, then how are you going to be able to hold your players and your coaching staff accountable for their wrong actions that don't meet up with your standards? Okay, so those are just 10 little steps to build a program. We can go in depth more. I'm going to keep talking about building a program. Then I'm going to keep talking about culture. Building a program, culture. Then I'm going to start talking about the identity of a team. Then we'll talk about a little bit about pressure defense, the different points of pressure defense, why pressure defense is important. And then I'll begin to break down a few zone defenses. We'll start with 2-3. We'll talk to 3-2. I don't really like the 3-2, but we'll talk to 3-2. We'll talk to 1-2-2, which in the 3-2, they go hand in hand. We'll talk some 1-2-1-1. We'll talk it all, but it'll be different lives, but I'll talk all of them. But that one was just to give a few quick 10 steps of how to build a program. Build it, get a good staff that believes in your principles and your standards. 3, you got to build the trust with your player, your staff, your players and your staff, and your administration. 4, create standards. 5, accountability. 6, develop competence. 7, promote teamwork. 8, challenge your staff and your players. 9, be the example. And 10, recognition. This has been the morning, well, afternoon, midday version of Full Court Press with Coach Jay. Thank you for watching. Hit the share button, like. If you got questions, you can inbox me or you can type them on this post and I will respond and answer questions as it goes on.